We are just 4 weeks out from the Brighton Marathon. I'm really going to start looking into what fuel I'm going to be taking on during the run and the 48 hours that lead up to the marathon. I'm going to take you on a week of my training, 4 weeks out from the marathon, while talking about the nutrition that I'm going to take on board 48 hours before the race and during the race. Getting your fuel right in a marathon can make or break your race. I'm going to put all of the things that I know about fueling to achieve the best that I can on the day, and hopefully some of this knowledge I'll pass on to you and you can use it for your own races. So in this video I'm going to be breaking down what I'm going to be eating, how I'm going to be eating it, and what are the benefits of fueling properly versus under fueling. It's Tuesday, week 5. This was going to be the week where the intensity was going to be at its absolute highest. However, because of the month that I've had, this is a week where I'm starting to increase my load after really pulling back hard. So this week, I'm going to start ramping up the miles a bit. I am going to increase the intensity on my runs. I'm going to increase the intensity on my workouts because I only have this week, next week, and then I'm going to start tapering. It remains to be seen whether I'll get the time that I originally wanted, but I can at least train hard and give it a go. I'm going to sneak in a cheeky little upper body session, even though it's not programmed, because I just fancy it. And then later on, I'm going to do an interval session on the road. It's probably going to be the first session where I really try and ramp up my pace and start to put a bit more pressure on my body, because I've only got 2 weeks now to build, and then the tapering will start. And I've been told that this week we are going to ramp up the Saturday morning run, which I haven't told you yet. But I'm doing a 25k on Saturday morning. I did 20k on Saturday and a bike on Sunday, and that all felt really good. So I'm optimistic that I can keep this progress up. I had a delivery. These are my STYRK-R bars, which are recovery bars and carb bars. Okay, so the first thing here that I've got is the endurance bar by STYRK-R, which is just gluten-free, 50 grams of carbohydrates. So I'm sure you've all heard about the generic carb load that runners might do before a long run. For people who are more inexperienced, they might think the night before I'm just going to eat pizzas, pasta and chips. That's not necessarily the best way of doing it. Your gut isn't used to it, and the day after all that food, you might actually have a lot of gut distress during the run. That's exactly what you don't want. The key here is to build up your carb intake gradually through the week before the marathon. Usually someone who's doing a lot of tough exercise, like someone who's training for a marathon, probably needs to take on between 5 and 7 grams of carbs per kilo of body weight. So 3 to 2 days before the marathon, I'm going to bump up those numbers to between 7 and 10 grams of carbs per kilo of body weight. I'm going to do this gradually over the few days that lead up to the marathon. And what this will do is just build up my glycogen stores without just overloading it in one big whack. Okay, workout this evening is steady state intervals. So I'm doing a 10-minute warm up, and then I'm doing intervals of 6 minutes at an RPE of 7. So probably just above marathon pace. 2-minute rest, doing that 5 times, and then a 10-minute cool down. Got my Nike Alpha Flies on as well, which will be my race day shoe. See how we go. Starting our warm up, 10 minutes. Here we go. First interval of 6 minutes coming up. All done, and that felt pretty good actually. I'll check the stats when I'm back, but I think my intervals were probably anywhere between a 4-minute kilometre and a 4-minute 15 kilometre. Maybe when there was a bit of incline, I think I got maybe to 4:20, but we'll have a look at the averages anyway. Body's feeling okay. Heart rate's a little bit high still, but it's certainly getting a lot better. My calves are both really tight. There's like a slight twinge of shin splints as well, but it's mostly just a big old tightness around my calves. But I think that might just be because I haven't run that much recently. Just gonna finish my warm up and then I'm all done for the night. My fueling strategy during the race will be 30 grams of carbs in a gel form every 30 minutes. I will probably be consuming about 180 grams of carbs over the course of the race. I'll be doing it in gel form with these precision gels. These are the gels that I've chosen for me. I find that they work really well for my gut. They're not overpowering in taste. They don't feel too sugary. They do just the right job for me. The important thing with the gels that you choose is make sure that you can eat enough of them so that they have the full effect. This is a big pack that holds 90 grams of carb that I can just keep on sipping on, but most of the gels that you'll be receiving will be small little packets of 30 grams. So you need to think that maybe you need 9 or 12 of these during the course of a race. If you find the first few too sweet, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble when it comes to the final third of where you need to keep your energy up. You're going to have to be able to put these gels back for quite a while. The other method you could use is using carb in drink form. What that means is though that you need to be carrying either water with you or a tab that you can put in some water as you run past a station. The reason I'm not going to use that in this particular race is I don't really want to have water on me. If I'm going to be running past a station and I need water, I only want to worry about just grabbing it and drinking it. I don't want to have to worry about messing around with tabs and putting them in and doing all that kind of stuff. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. Beautiful day, as you can probably tell by the sun hitting my face. I'm on my way to the gym. Today is a squat focused day. I feel really good about how my body is feeling after the interval session yesterday. My calves felt really, really tight. That was the only thing that was sort of really kind of worrying me during the run. I think as soon as I get more miles in the tank, I think that calf kind of stress, I wouldn't want to call it cramps because it's not like cramping, but it is like a tightness. As soon as I get over that, I'm in a really good spot. My heart rate is getting a bit more closer to baseline. So it felt really good. So I'm gonna crack on with my training. This might end up being the comeback of all comebacks. I've only got 2 weeks. I've got this week of training, I've got next week of training, and then I'm gonna start whatever the taper period is going to look like. Maybe we'll take the 2 week taper and make it 1 week. Maybe not, I don't know, but we'll see. Either way, I'm gonna turn up to Brighton Marathon with my absolute best foot forward, give it my best shot, and let's see how this is all gonna go. So today, squats, and then later on this evening, I'm doing a bike session.
Got too many friends telling Jennifer, can't even butt without hearing her bars, you know that's a feed on you belling up. We're at a shoot so he's getting his younger, telling him we're about to send him up. Only do personal link up if it's a man that he deals with on regular. These times that's when I'm telling them, yo, please check the temp on the weather, bruh. Yeah, cause you're making it rain all now, but don't think the feds can't come sweat it up. That's why them rule brothers keep me round, keep it 100, no breading up. Talking investment, business ventures, where they should go if their bread is up. Plus I hold them down if I tell them up. Got too many friends telling Jennifer, I'll just be telling all my brothers, please, tracking that dough when you level up. Don't wanna have to be doing up business and selling you peace cause they hemmed you up. You're getting them high, but please keep it low when doing your thing on your cellular. The one you want, Obo, I'm telling ya. Got too many friends telling Jennifer, I'll just be telling all my brothers, please, tracking that dough when you level up. Don't wanna have to be doing up business and selling you peace.
Okay, so next up is Cossack squats. Today I'm going to do them supported. So I'm going to grab onto a bar, get that depth, think more about the mobility rather than the strength element. Sometimes I would do this with a kettlebell, sometimes I do it supported. Today I'm going to do it supported.
Just be sure that you're moving smart when you never get hit that mark. You see, I can't blame these youths. I moved something for a year cause I had one. But CEOs, judges, 5-0s doing up binge weekends on a mad one. Remember one time, one YO, you done recognise one temp teachers. Said, sir, swear down, no disrespect, but you have some familiar features. Sir said, oh yeah, really? Worked out what ends they were from. Turns out they are Buckton Road. Sir picked up from his don. It was all mad, here in the same place, but what different sides they were on. And it made all them man think back to the freedom and time that I gone. So I start telling them man clean it. When I see them win and I mean it. My does all do the same and they still got products and the customers feeling it. Don't want it in the same store.
The big issue for me at the moment is I still get that pull where my sports hernia was, like just above my groin. So any lateral movement, like Cossack squat or single leg movement, I really feel that pressure through the groin. So I really have to bring the weight off it and just kind of get the full motion in there. The main thing is I'm not feeling it while I'm running, which is the important thing at the moment. So it does mean that it's improving. I need to keep that improvement up, keep putting load through it, but without pushing it too hard.
Please keep it low when doing your thing on your cellular. The one you want, I'm telling ya.
Okay, gym session done. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to go and have a coffee at the coffee shop right around the corner from the gym. Very lucky to have that. I'm going to go and meet Charles from the Woodpecker Project because he's the one that's in charge of a really, really long ultra run that we're doing over 8 days. Because in about 8 weeks, we are running 500k from the Lake District to London over 8 days.
Have a conscious decision. Have you trained for this? Yes. Can you deal with this? Yes. Is there going to be enough energy gels and carbohydrates on the side of the road so you don't deplete all your energy sources? Because red zoning is fine if for a certain period of time. Red zone without hydration, nutrition, then you're being stupid.
Exactly. Yeah.
So be like, well, I know where the pit stops are, I know where the water stops are.
Are you going to rely on that stuff or are you going to take your own
Both.
stuff? Both, nice.
Like, I'm not going to take a water bottle because they're every 5 kilometres. At the moment, I don't drink every 5 kilometres.
Yeah, right.
So if I can sip every 5 kilometres, I'm going to take a powder. I'll wear a belt with X amount of gels in, which I've been training with, that I'm really happy with. Nice. Then I'll take powder which can be mixed into one of the water bottles that I pick up. So like you can get short powders which are like 45 grams mix in. Okay. But I'll just mix them up, almost like shot them, so at least I've got it in.
So you're gonna put salt, carbs in your drink rather than salts, or you're gonna?
I'll probably do both
because it might be quite warm.
It's going to be warm. I'm going to cook.
I am fairly certain that this is going to be a package from Precision. Yeah. Boop. I have always had a bit of an issue with gels. When the flavour is too strong, it makes me feel really sick when running. And I gave these a go because they're very popular at the minute. And I also didn't claim to be a certain flavour, which sounds like a really weird reason to buy a product. But I just thought maybe if they're not trying to taste like berries of the forest, they might actually be a really good option for me. And I was right, because the flavour isn't too strong. It's quite a neutral tasting thing, whatever that means really. But it certainly doesn't feel overpowering. So when I'm running, I'm not even thinking about the taste tube. I wouldn't be able to really tell you what they taste like, but they just taste like Precision gels. And that works really well for me. Got a little cap as well. I always struggle with caps because I have quite a large head. So I've got a selection of gels here. My first are these 90-gram carb gels. The reason I thought these would be interesting, I'm going to be taking a carb gel every 30 minutes when I'm doing long runs, and especially on race days. Every 30 minutes I will be consuming 30 grams of carbs. That's my plan. The thing with that is, over an hour and a half, that's 3 empty packets of gels that I have to deal with, and it's sort of ripping it open. And although Precision do a really good job of giving you these tabs that don't mean they all flick off and cause loads of littering, it is still 3 different things that you have to deal with. And I just thought if I had one big pouch, that might be a really good way just to kind of sip at it, run, open it up, sip at it, close it, put it back in, over an hour and a half. So in theory, on my run, for my carb intake, I would just need 2 of these for my marathon. So that's very interesting and something that I'm going to be testing. In case that doesn't end up working, and what I will be training with as well is I have these regular 30-gram carb gels, which work really well. Like I said, they have this little extra tab on the thing here, so you rip it open and can slurp at it. One of the few gels that I find really easy to open. It's such a weird thing, but like when I open other gels, sometimes I can't even get them open, and then I'm trying to slurp at them and I can't get them out, and it just becomes this thing when you're trying to run at pace. I think 100 milligrams of caffeine gives you a real kick. I haven't decided how I'm going to implement that into my training yet or into my run, but I will try it to see how it works and how it fits in. I really rate this product. I bought this with my own money. I'm not affiliated in any way. I've just tried lots of different fueling options. These have been the option for me. They've shown up for me and helped and aided my training. So I didn't set up my camera or anything for this, but I just thought I'd just sort of keep you in the loop that now it's Wednesday evening. I'm doing a 1 hour zone 2 bike ride. This means that I've got a very low mechanical load on my body, but I can still get a good workout in when my heart rate is hitting at about between 120 and 130. It's a really good way just to keep endurance climbing without stressing the body too much. I'm on my TT bike using Zwift. It's a really beautiful evening, but here I am. I think tomorrow I'm going to go to Goodwood Motor Circuit and ride my bike around the motor track, which is going to be quite a special experience. All done. 152 watts average, 24 kilometers, 1 hour, 524 calories apparently. Oh good, I'm starting to enjoy this trainer, and actually I'm starting to get used to the TT bike. I'm looking forward to giving it a go on a track tomorrow. It'll be the first time I've taken it out the trainer and ridden it in the real world, so that's going to be quite revealing, I think. Shot. Thank you for being here for this video. I hope you've gathered some tips on how you can fuel for your races. I'm going to continue to keep training hard in prep for this Brighton Marathon. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you want to keep up to date with my journey as I continue to train for the Brighton Marathon, then please subscribe, and you can also go back and watch the story so far too. Thank you for being here, and I'll catch you again next week.